The New York Yankees were once the kings of baseball, with 26 World Series rings and a reputation of pure dominance. But in 2004, they found themselves in a unique situation against their rival, the Boston Red Sox. It was playoff time in the American League Championship Series, and the Yankees were just one win away from their 40th World Series appearance. And you know the rest. After taking that 3-game lead, the Red Sox did the unthinkable. They came back from being down 3-0 in the series, something that no team had ever done before. And now that the series was tied at 3-3, everyone wondered what was going to happen next.
Well, you have to respect them. I mean, they had great fight, great comeback, and now we'll see if they can take it all the way. But the Yankees are the Yankees.
But when nobody thought it was possible,
Red Sox Nation enjoying its version of a national holiday. All of Boston going absolutely bananas now that the curse is officially reversed.
that was the moment the Yankees' curse on the Red Sox was finally dead.
The Red Sox have done it in improbable fashion, winning 8 straight games against the Yankees and the Cardinals, and the Boston Red Sox are the world champions.
Everybody knows about the Red Sox side of this story, a team that never gave up, came together, and made history. But what about the Yankees' perspective? How did they go from winning the series 3-0 to committing the largest choke in Major League playoff history? To understand, we have to go back in time to the beginning, when the curse on the city of Boston began, and it all starts with Babe Ruth.
The Yankees have just purchased him from the Boston Red Sox, where he made good as a pitcher.
Before trading Babe Ruth, the Red Sox went from winning 5 World Series in 15 years, but when they did trade him, they won 0 championships for 86 years. In that time span, they went to 4 World Series appearances, all of whom went to the final game, Game 7, and they lost. The worst of all the World Series was in 1986 against the Mets, when the Red Sox were a strike away from being world champions again. With a 99.999 chance to win in the 11th inning, they managed to blow it in the most pathetic way imaginable. A routine grounder went through the first baseman's legs, allowing the Mets to come back and win it. But in the NYC Bronx, it was the complete opposite after the trade.
The Yankees are champions of baseball.
They won 25 World Series throughout the 1900s, had stars like Babe Ruth, Joe DiMaggio, Mickey Mantle, and countless others. By the late 1990s, they were back on top with a dynasty led by Derek Jeter, Mariano Rivera, and manager Joe Torre. They won the World Series in 1996, 1998, 1999, and even in 2000, becoming the 3rd Yankee dynasty to win at least 3 consecutive championships. In 2003, they were looking to add another World Series win to their resume. But first, they had to get past Boston in the ALCS. The Yankees won the division that year with a record of 101 wins and 61 losses, with the Red Sox coming in 2nd place. And this was also the second time in MLB history that these two teams were facing off in the playoffs. They had played each other 4 years prior in 1999, ending in a Yankees win. So this time, it's 2003, Sox-Yankees. The series was tied at 1-1, and it was Clemens versus Martinez. By the top of the 4th inning, Martinez attempted to hit Yankee batter Kareem Garcia. And after that, he revealed that he hit Kareem Garcia intentionally. Former Red Sox Roger Clemens, who is now on the Yankees, brought matters into his own hands.
Now Ramirez. That ball's not even close.
Just moments later, 72-year-old Don Zimmer, the Yankees bench coach, ran hard at Martinez, resulting in Zimmer being thrown into the ground. And the chaos just didn't end.
We've had another ugly incident as a fan out above that Yankee bullpen has jumped down in there.
The Yankees won that game 3-2, giving them a series lead. But the Yankees as a team were extremely upset at Martinez. Joe Torre specifically was pissed off and told the media that Martinez should have shown more respect towards Zimmer. Posada said Martinez's actions were disgraceful, and Kareem Garcia also said that he crossed the line by pitching that ball at him. After the game, he was being bashed by the media and later even revealed it was his one career regret. And just like Derek Jeter later said, that was a moment neither the Yankees or the Red Sox ever forgot in their rivalry. But both teams just kept going back and forth through the series, leading up to a Game 7 taking place in NYC at the house that Ruth built.
Nixon into right center field. Did he get enough? Yes, he did. The Red Sox strike first.
The Red Sox had the lead almost this entire game, but the Yankees weren't going to go down without a fight.
Into right center field. Damon back at the track, at the wall. It is gone for another Giambi home run.
The Yankees went on to tie the game by the end of the 9th inning, making it an extra innings classic, ending in the craziest way possible.
And Boone to lead off.
His first at-bat of the game. There's a fly ball deep to left. It's on its way. There it goes. And the Yankees are going to the World Series. Aaron Boone has hit a home run.
The Yankees' backup second baseman Aaron Boone stunned the world, sending the Red Sox home and made it the Yankees' 6th World Series appearance in just 8 years.
You have things in your life that happen that you can recall like it was yesterday. That's something that's very hazy for me.
The Yankees were superior in the rivalry once again.
Mariano runs out to the pitcher's mound, and he just falls apart.
The Yankees went on to lose in the World Series against the Florida Marlins 4-2, but at the very least, the curse of the great Bambino was alive.
We believe in ghosts, and we got some ghosts in this stadium.
How can you not believe in it? You know, the way things have happened around here, you have to believe.
The season was over, and the Yankees were about to make unbelievable roster changes. 2004 was going to be much different than any Yankee fan had seen in years, starting with an insane free agency. The Yankees planned on conducting mass reform on the roster and completely spending every dollar that they possibly could have. Starting with the signing of former Atlanta Brave outfielder Gary Sheffield on a 3-year, $39 million contract right after putting up a .330 batting average the year prior. And it seemed like a great signing at the time, but one key problem that they had to address immediately was the starting rotation, as the Yankees were about to lose 3 of their top starters to free agency. Legends like Roger Clemens and Andy Pettitte were headed out the door, along with serviceable starter David Wells. To attempt to replace their level of production, they added 2 starting pitchers to bolster their rotation, being Javier Vasquez and Kevin Brown, 2 pitchers who both had great success in 2003. But the last step to solving their pitching conundrum was by improving the back end of their bullpen. Even with Mariano Rivera as their closer in 2003, they significantly lacked other options, and had a bullpen that gave up a .746 OPS. So, they decided there was one good way to fix their bullpen troubles, and that was to sign a former Red Sox closer, Tom Gordon, along with iconic former Red Sox reliever Paul Quantrill. So by this point, the rotation and the bullpen were both revamped. But when everything was going right, something went wrong. Their supposed starting third baseman Aaron Boone tore his left ACL in the middle of a random pickup basketball game, leading to the Yankees making one of the greatest decisions in franchise history, which was trading for the one and only Alex Rodriguez.
An A-bomb from A-Rod!
Before the Yankees acquired Rodriguez, he actually really wanted to be on the Red Sox, and it was mutual. His team at the time, the Texas Rangers, agreed on a trade to send him to Boston, but it was blocked by the MLB Player Association. When he found out they blocked it, he got drunk and threw up everywhere. But the good thing for Rodriguez landing with the Yankees was that A-Rod and Jeter were known as best friends throughout the 90s, despite being on separate teams. And when their 2 teams played each other in the past, they actually had sleepovers at each other's homes. But this friendship quickly turned into an episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, and it was all A-Rod's fault. He went on to interviews saying things like, "You go into New York trying to stop Bernie Williams, Paul O'Neill, and everybody. You never say, 'Don't let Derek Jeter beat you.' That's never your concern." Rodriguez told another media source that Jeter has never had to lead a team and that he can just go out there, play, and have fun. These comments led Jeter to believe that Rodriguez was not a true friend. But regardless of the tension between the two, they now had to share a left corner infield playing at shortstop and third base. But on the other side of the rivalry, the Red Sox were busy adding a former ace into their rotation, Curt Schilling, and even a closer in Keith Foulke through free agency, leaving a stunning Boston payroll of $128 million. However, it still didn't compare to the New York Yankees' $185 million payroll, the most amount of money spent on a team in league history at the time. But the reality is, both of these 2 teams had some of the best talent in MLB history, with over 8 of their players later getting onto Hall of Fame ballots. ESPN projected the AL East division to be within 1 game of one another, with Boston even winning it over the Yankees. Despite what the national media may have thought, the entire Yankees organization still expected to win the 2004 World Series. Their owner, George Steinbrenner, said, "We've got the best team in baseball. Now it's time to prove it on the field." Even newly acquired third baseman Alex Rodriguez said, "I've waited my entire career to be on a team like this. Winning the World Series is the only goal." Considering that A-Rod was their youngest player in their starting lineup at 28 years old, they clearly had veteran leadership to win it all. And by July of 2004, the Yankees were absolutely killing the Red Sox in a game.
It's unlikely that the Red Sox will catch the Yankees. The Yankees have never blown a lead of 6 or more games.
On July 24th, 9 months after the Aaron Boone walk-off, the Yankees and the Red Sox were facing off at Fenway Park. It may be no surprise to you that the Yankees were winning 3-0 by the third inning. But in that same inning, an all-out riot began after A-Rod was hit by a pitch.
He says something to Bronson Arroyo. Here we go. Veritek and A-Rod going at it.
Rodriguez was upset and felt that the Red Sox were intentionally trying to hit him. So Veritek told him to go down to first base and that they don't hit .260 average hitters. Down the line, Rodriguez actually looked back at himself at that moment and questioned why the hell he did it in the first place. Ultimately, Rodriguez went on to hit 35 homers that year and even outperformed Jeter in multiple different stats.
The 0-2. Line up the middle. There's a base hit center field.
As a team, despite the division ending up close, the Yankees won it by 3 games over Boston and even crossed the 100-win mark. But overall, the Red Sox had an ERA plus of 1.16 compared to the Yankees' 96 ERA plus. And even offensively, the Red Sox lineup outscored them by a total of 52 runs. Despite this, the Yankees remained confident, with manager Joe Torre telling the team, "Our guys have been through this before. It's about staying focused and playing our game." In the first round of the playoffs, that's exactly what the team did against the Minnesota Twins. While the Yankees lost Game 1, they took control of the series, winning Game 2, 3, and 4, making them 1 win away from an ALCS berth facing the undefeated playoff Red Sox. Winning the series against Minnesota was going to come down to the greatest closer in Yankee history, Mariano Rivera.
Ground ball. Yankees, Red Sox, LCS for the second year in a row.
The 2004 ALCS was now officially set to be Boston versus New York. And quite frankly, both sides felt confident, but the Yankees and their fans specifically may have been a little bit too confident. And the same goes for Boston.
Curse?
What curse?
What curse?
Going into Game 1, New York had home field advantage, and it was set to be Mike Messina versus Curt Schilling. The obvious problem for the Yankees was the starting pitching being at a disadvantage. Messina was an inconsistent playoff pitcher, whereas Schilling had one of the greatest postseason records of any pitcher ever. Regardless, early into the game, we had a winner.
Lofton cranks it down the right field line. That ball is gone for a home run.
Not only did Mike Messina pitch 6 perfect innings, but the Yankees offense put up 10 runs, with 6 of those runs given up in the first 3 innings by Schilling. And just like Derek Jeter said, taking the first game sets the tone. While the Yankees' confidence and momentum was certainly boosted, they all knew that Game 2 would be a must-win against Pedro Martinez. However, it felt improbable because the Yankees starter was nowhere near Pedro's level of production. But despite the improbable odds,
Into center field. That ball will fall for a hit. Jeter's coming to the plate. Damon's throw, too late.
with a final score of 3-1 in Game 2, the Yankees beat Martinez and the Red Sox.
I mean, what can I say? Just tip my hat and call the Yankees my daddies.
With a 2-0 lead in the series, the Yankees were now en route to Fenway Park, preparing for one of the greatest games in Yankee history. Fenway Park was loud. They wanted the damn curse to be over and for something to go their way. But early in the game, we saw A-Rod getting hits, Matsui hitting homers, and the Red Sox bullpen completely imploding. The Yankees were having fun, with players smiling and giving high fives in the dugout. By the end, Game 3 of the 2004 ALCS was the longest 9-inning playoff game ever at 4 hours and 20 minutes.
This is a nightmare for the Red Sox and their fans.
After the Game 3 loss, the Red Sox had just a 6% chance to win the series and appeared to be in shambles.
Tomorrow's going to come real quick, and we got to try to win tomorrow. I mean, I sat in that dugout for a lot of wins this year and took the smiles and the laughs and everything, and you have to sit through a night like tonight. I won't bail on those guys. We'll show up tomorrow and play.
There were 0 teams to ever come back and win a series after being down 3-0, leaving Yankees players with sky-high confidence.
Have you ever seen anything like the first 4 guys in this lineup all getting hot together at the same time?
It's the right time to do it. Now, since we got to the playoff, it's a set lineup and it's been working.
The following day, the Red Sox were being bashed in the media and were now known as the Boston Dead Sox.
We were up 3-0. We had just beat the piss out of you in Game 3. We were thinking, we're going to the World Series.
All the Yankees needed to do was win one more game against Boston, specifically Game 4 of the ALCS. New York came laser focused, led by 2 runs in the 5th inning, and then were leading by 1 singular run in the bottom of the 9th. The curse living on, and their next World Series appearance was all in the hands of Mariano Rivera, the same closer who had 30 postseason saves from 1996 to 2004 with a .75 ERA. Against Boston, he had blown 7 saves out of 22 opportunities since 2001, meaning that this game and series felt as good as over, but Red Sox fans remained optimistic, holding signs saying things like "it ain't over yet" or "you gotta believe it to see it." In the first at-bat in the bottom of the 9th, it was Rivera versus Kevin Millar, and during a 3-1 count, this happened.
Leadoff walk, and there's life for the Red Sox.
With the potential tying run on first base, the Red Sox decided to put Dave Roberts as the pinch runner for Millar. Roberts had actually been in the clubhouse from the 5th to the 7th inning, watching videos of Yankee relievers for if he later got the opportunity to pinch run. However, the Yankees were prepared for Roberts to attempt to steal the base with his blazing speed. So, they tried not 1, not 2, but 3 pickoff attempts to get Roberts out. And just a few moments later, he did this.
Miller still waiting for his first pitch. Roberts is going. Posada's throw. Roberts safe.
Because of that iconic steal, the Red Sox tied the game, making it run into extra innings where the Yankees fell.
Ortiz into deep right field. Back is Sheffield. We'll see you later tonight.
Momentum is easily changed in a short series, and there's not much you can do about it.
And just 1 game later in Game 5, there was yet again another game that went all the way into the 14th inning. Virtually every single player from the Red Sox and Yankees bullpen pitched, and it came down to the very final moment.
Ortiz fights it off center field. Damon running to the plate, and he can keep on running to New York. Game 6.
It was unbelievable.
Each game is a series in itself.
With the Red Sox taking Game 4 and 5, the series was headed back to New York for Game 6. And in that game, the Yankees had to face Curt Schilling again. Only this time, Schilling was dealing with an ankle injury and even pitched with a bloody sock. Emotions were running high for both of these 2 teams all game long. In the 8th inning, it was 4-2 Boston, and Alex Rodriguez did this.
Off the end of the bat. Arroyo, the ball gets loose. It's down the right field line. Jeter coming all the way around.
Remember earlier in the season when A-Rod was hit by the pitch? Well, this was basically Rodriguez's version of revenge, hitting the ball out of Arroyo's glove, the same pitcher who once hit him. But the umpire ruled the play as interference from A-Rod, not only making him out, but also reversing the run that Jeter scored, putting him all the way back onto first base. Manager Joe Torre was livid about the situation, regardless of it being the right call by the umpires. So Yankees fans took this into their own hands.
And this umpire crew, as this fan base for the Yankees throwing baseballs onto the field, this place is dangerous now. They're going to have to call the players off the field. Everybody's going to have to leave the field.
With emotions running rampant in Old Yankee Stadium, this was a mess. But in the bottom of the 9th inning, the Yankees had yet again another chance to win the series. With a runner on first and second with 2 outs, they were 1 homer away from making history.
Runners go. Red Sox force Game 7.
So, it was all going to come down to a Game 7 feud between the 2 teams.
I'm always a believer in the team that won the last game is the one that has the momentum. You know, and last year the Red Sox won the last game, 6. And, you know, we were able to fight back and win Game 7.
Owner George Steinbrenner was also pulling out every string he could to get the curse back on track. Yankee legend Bucky Dent threw out the first pitch to Yogi Berra, and to make it even more special, the game was coincidentally scheduled to be on Yankee legend Mickey Mantle's birthday. However, they needed to do one obvious thing, which was to start hitting again. From Game 4 and onward, Alex Rodriguez had 2 hits, Gary Sheffield had 1, and Tony Clark had 3. The last thing they wanted to do was lose this game. Jeter actually said that the Yankees' pain and losses to the Red Sox outweigh the victories. But unfortunately for Jeter, the Red Sox got off to a hot start in Game 7.
And here's Ortiz. He rips one into right field. Back at the wall, 2-0 Red Sox.
With Kevin Brown on the mound, a pitcher who had given up 3 runs in Game 3, the pitching didn't look very good at all. Just an inning after Ortiz hit that bomb, Kevin Brown loaded the bases and was taken out for Javier Vasquez, who was now thrown into a bases-loaded situation against Johnny Damon. Up to that point, Damon was 4 for 30 with 8 strikeouts. But when nobody thought it was possible,
trying to do the same. Damon hits it in the air to right field. Sheffield back in the corner. At the wall, a grand slam. Johnny Damon.
That home run made the Yankees fans quiet and every strand of momentum dead.
Here it is. Ground ball to second. Reese. The Boston Red Sox have won the pennant.
This was the beginning of a new curse, the reverse of the Great Bambino.